The Maw&Paw kits are ready to go. This is what they look like. I've changed the wool. I've changed the wool to a wool that's a bit different, but it looks hooked, which is definitely what you need with this kit. So I'll open the kit and show you what's inside. This is what you'll receive. Mrs. Perfection did these. You know, everything has to be perfect. And you receive the Maw&Paws and all of their kitties, perfectly cut out and numbered. The numbers go from top to bottom, but there really is no specific way to do that. I am forever picking things off this wool. This is, oh my, isn't that nice? This was a yellow wool blanket, a pale yellow. Oh my, doesn't that look nice? And then the kitties will go on. It's difficult to see, I don't have good lighting, but then you can just put these around wherever you like. So, yes, this was pale yellow wool, and it went through the dye pot 3 times for sure. Some of them probably 4 because I wasn't happy with them. And the reason that happens is because of the way I dye. The wool is, the color is layered on the wool. It's not just a one-time process. And when I do my wool, I have the big canner pots, and I put them in. I let that process happen with the natural dyes, and sometimes I use acid dyes. And then the wool stays in the pot for at least 24 hours. Every dye pot, without exception, it's 24 hours. And then I take it out and I wash it and I dry it and I see what it looks like. And if it doesn't suit Mrs. Perfection, then it goes back in the dye pot again. So it's just a process. I very seldom, if ever, have a dye pot that is just once dyed. I find with the way I dye and the colors and the natural dyes that I use, the color's not strong enough. It looks fake. It doesn't really look as though it's naturally faded and aged. This is the binding, and I will put it up there to show you. This also was really a pain to dye, let me tell you. It's a very thin wool flannel type material. It's hard to video. And there are imperfections in it. It was a very old, worn blanket. This one doesn't have anything that I can see right now, but on some there are spots. Spots where the dye took, or perhaps a little hole in it or something like that. But I've given you a lot, so you can actually cut that out, and this goes around. Now you will need a backing for your cushion. These are the things that you receive in the kit. So you'll need a backing and you'll need stuffing for your cushion. But Mrs. Perfection wanted thread, and this was yellow thread. This was yellow embroidery floss, and we dyed it several times. I actually dyed this in an aluminum pot as a mordant, which I really like. I thought it turned out really good. But that took 3 or 4 times to do that. And it's not all one color. There's variance in the color. So you can use it, this is a whole skein. You can use it thick as it is, or you can divide it because it is embroidery floss. And this is to embroider the kitties on. And you can actually use this with on the wool because it's a different color. Embroider the names of your kitties or something else, whatever you'd like. Put their little faces in with it. So this is what happens with the kit. This is all the pieces that come with the kit. The kit is $68 plus shipping, and because I'm doing it on my website now, I have flat shipping for each order. If anything should happen that you do order multiple items and the shipping cost is above what your actual shipping is, of course I'm going to refund it, but we've had a notice that UPS has really come down on shipping and have some extra charges. One package in particular over a certain size is $15 more, which is terrible. So I definitely don't want packages that size. So in order to get away with that $15 surcharge, I may divide your order. If you have multiple items, I may divide it into 2 packages. And that is the Maw&Paw family. Now I just wanted to show you a little bit about the fight that Mrs. Perfection and I got in. What happens is this was a particular blanket and it looks as though it's hooked, and that was the reason that I designed the Maw&Paw kits. They really needed that type of a wool, and I did happen to have one of these blankets. The problem was it's not so bad with Maw&Paw, but with the little kitties it's very difficult to hold them in place or pin them and cut. So I used freezer paper. And then I found out that freezer paper was very limited in supply, and it is nowhere in Nova Scotia. Absolutely nowhere that I could find. I did find it on Amazon, but I didn't want you to go to the expense of just giving you the pattern and having you to figure out how to do it. So Mrs. Perfection cut all of the kitties out. And just a little tip, if you do use freezer paper, make sure that there's iron it on something instead of using it new off the bolt. Just iron it on a piece of wool or something so it gets a bit fuzzy and it doesn't have such a stick, because it really lifts the nap on the wool. Of course, if you want that, that's fine, but of course I iron absolutely everything. There is not one piece of wool that is gone from my wool, whether it's pennies or a kit or anything. It has to be pretty much ironed to death. I use a high heat. I use cotton on my iron and steam, lots of steam, and I even do press the button for steam. And this is the problem with the little pennies. It's cutting it out in here, and it doesn't. You wouldn't think it was difficult, but on some of the kitties, it is very difficult. Now I actually thought about using a marker and marking on the wool and then cutting that, but I really didn't think that would work either. But these are very tedious to cut, very tedious. Drives you crazy if you have to cut dozens and dozens and dozens. And you really need very sharp, small scissors. It's very difficult. But this wool holds together good. It has a good, it will embroider very good. It will stitch down very good. It doesn't fray. It's really perfect for Maw&Paw. Okay, so the pattern for Maw&Paw is on the Facebook group, of course, so I haven't included that, but this is just as my original kit was. I actually had to buy another pair of scissors to do it because you don't want to put your thumb and fingers in. I already have things on my fingers from scissors. So that is the Maw&Paw kit. As I say, it's on the website. Now, as always, when this is gone, it's gone because I need the blanket in order. You really need that type of a blanket in order to make that design. Doesn't that look like it's hooked or something? Oh my gosh. That looks really good. Okay, the button will be down below to order. And of course, if you have any questions, it's sort of difficult lately being on the Mac. It's just so much going on in my life. It's just, there are a few days that I don't even turn it on. And I'm hoping that things will quiet down a little bit. But that's life. Sometimes it goes fast and sometimes it goes slow. So thank you, everyone. I see it's, I was supposed to do just a little bit of a video, but it's getting pretty long. So I thank you for listening to me, and I hope everyone has a great day.